It was one of the most deprived areas in the country. It was low on self-esteem, it was very much infighting. If you came around to bonfire night, no one would come down here because it looked like Lebanon. Impact of the Fair Share Trust, it's forced organisations at some point to work together. It's shown the weaknesses of some organisations that were just there for the money, and established the ones that want to carry on working and have carried on working.
I think the biggest impact is with young people, and the fact it's engaged young people in some really positive activities and led to some really fantastic outcomes with young people.
Organisations have learnt stuff, there's been ups and downs along the way, but everyone's learnt along the way because it's not been a short pot where it's come and gone.
There's a whole variety of stuff, from stronger groups delivering good stuff in the area to more joined up working to physical attributes on the estate as well.
It's been learnt from the Fair Share project. Well, if you're going to set something up, follow it through to the end and keep it going. Otherwise, don't bother doing it in the first place.
What led the panel to employ a development worker back in 2009?
I think there are a number of reasons. It was partly to give the Fair Share programme more profile within the area. It was partly to support those groups that we're already engaged with and provide additional support. More specifically, we decided to employ a worker at the end of the programme to help us concentrate on some of the sustainability issues.
It's been quite a challenge really in terms of working with groups on how to make them sustainable in difficult economic times. So there has been quite a bit of fundraising involved. I've helped bring in over £300,000 to the area, which has secured some of the organisations in the area certainly for the medium term. But also it's been looking at developing governance, better governance, bringing on board new trustees, new directors, and particularly increasing groups volunteering in terms of helping them to recruit volunteers, train their volunteers, and then keep those volunteers for the long term.
I think he's made or helped make groups a lot stronger and a lot more robust and able to face the future. And in terms of for a lot of groups, a very uncertain future, but I think in terms of Orchard Park, is very well placed to face the future.
The best example really of us coming together to achieve something for the benefit of the community was a project that I helped, the Rainbow Garden, community garden on the estate. They needed toilet facilities. A lot of the children and disabled users of the garden were struggling to come for longer periods of time because they would need to use toilets, and the closest public facilities were quite some distance away. So we did some consultation with the community. We asked if they would be happy to have a toilet facility on site that used a composting method. Then we identified a company that produced that, and then we put together a funding bid to a charitable trust, and they provided the funding to install that toilet. So the benefit of that has been that the hundreds of people who use that community garden and the staff and volunteers all now have a toilet facility on site, which means that the activities can run for longer, groups can visit for longer. Fair Share has made a significant difference to thousands of young people's lives in particular. The focus of the panel was on activities and resources for young people, and certainly that has been provided in terms of the facility that you see here, the organisations that work here that deliver activities for young people week in, week out, and there are other facilities around the estate that do the same. There's been a physical benefit in terms of some of the facilities. So Fair Share has funded the renovation of a local pitch and putt golf course, which is a physical asset that the community now has use of that it didn't before. And the Thorpes Resource Centre, just down the road, we've helped to provide some renovation costs for them so that they can really relaunch that centre and use it for the benefit of the community. So I think that there will be a visible, physical legacy from Fair Share, but also thousands of lives, I think, have been changed in this area.
The youth project started in 1989, so we've been going nearly for 22 years, and it's a charity that works in the area, supporting children and young people, offering really positive activities after school and into the evening and in the school holidays, things like arts projects, music, dance, sport, cookery, healthy eating, computers, media, filmmaking, well, whatever the young people really want to do, we try and offer it if we can.
Do you like cooking at St Michael's?
Yeah, it's really fun.
What do you like most about it?
That we get to make stuff and then we get to eat it and we play cameras.
Well, Fair Share Money came for us at a really critical point in the life of our organisation where a number of funding streams were coming to an end, and we needed some sustainability just as we tried to identify new sources of funding. But so alongside just helping us to become sustainable into the near future, it also enabled us to do some work with children and people in the area, improving the community. So we've been trying to hear what needs to be improved in the community and respond to that need. So things like the improving the skate park, supporting a youth forum to hear what young people think need to change.
My name's Millie King and I'm 9 years old.
Linda Moffat and I'm 13 years old.
Michael Cartledge and I'm 17.
My best session was when we went to ice skating.
Laser tag.
I love ice skating and I helped my friend Whitney.
It was fun and you get to run about and do what you want outdoors.
It had to be like Water Valley going to...
Why was it the best?
It was the most fun and we got to go to a theme park. I mean, do you really need to say anything else?
I think there's a number of things that the Fair Share will leave as a legacy. There's a number of very tangible things, like the fact that the youth project's still here and that we're still open as a youth centre is a very big legacy, or other organisations in the area too, that Fair Share invested into at quite a critical point. We're still here to serve this community and make a difference. The things that are less tangible but perhaps further reaching in many ways are all the young people who've benefited from those resources over the years, who are now becoming adults and taking what they've learnt into their lives, whether it's skills or attitudes and ways of doing things, people who are now able to be employable because of things they've learnt and accessed in their youth provision, really. So, but it's much harder to measure that, of course, and we may not ever see the full impact of it. I think also we see staff who've worked here who have grown and developed and become more confident, become qualified as youth workers and that kind of thing, who are doing really well and continuing to give back to their community. I think maybe one of the big things that we've tried to do is to engender that attitude to give back to the community, and it's not always easy, but there's a lot more of a positive attitude towards that now, and I hope that we'll be able to build on that. Really.
St Michael's Youth Project has been working with Hull City Council to work on Dane Park Golf Course. This is to help regenerate the golf course and get it back into a playable state like it was 15, 20 years ago. So it's a slow process, and we're helping young people and also training up staff and volunteers to help get involved in the golf course, learn new skills, and also regenerate the rest of the area that's within the golf course, so the play park, nature trail. So they're future things we're looking at.
What difference do you think the golf course Dane Park pitch and putt will make to the residents on Orchard Park?
Well, the pitch and putt project is is a really good one because it hits a lot of different targets. It hits the target of improving the environment, hits the target of bringing back into use a valuable community facility. It hits the target of providing opportunities for young people to get involved in the community, and it hits the target of encouraging people within the community to volunteer and to do things that make a positive difference. So the Pitch and Putt project is a good one. It's a good one for the community.
The Resource Centre goes back to 1989 when it was a 4-bedroomed council house. It was the Thorpe's Resource Centre, stroke Thorpe's Housing Association. They thought they needed a bigger building. We had meetings with surveyors, architects, and once it was open, it was fantastic. I always remember we did a big opening and there was 300 people coming through the gates, coming to see the centre, which was super. It really was.
There's a lot of people that use it just as a drop-in, socialise with people that maybe don't see anybody during the week. Also the families come in, enjoy family sessions, and also the youths are coming in, so we're taking them off the street, giving them something to do. We found we did hit a difficult patch where the centre did have to close down, and we did find that there was a lot of children, a lot of families missed the place, and a lot of the youths getting into a lot more mischief. So with the help of the Fair Share, we were able to get back up and running and had a really successful 6 weeks summer holidays, which launched us back open.
We are working a lot now with other agencies, which are really helping us, bringing more activities in. We're looking forward to the gym. We have the market as well. I mean, that is really bringing in more and more of the community, because they're coming from all over, from Orchard Park to the market days. But it's looking really promising. We started off with a couple of sessions. Now we're here 5 days a week.
We gained the funding which enabled us to employ 2 youth workers and a centre coordinator. We also was able to run more sessions for the children and families on the estate. Without the support of the Fair Share, we would not be open now. They've supported us through every aspect, the financial, just general paperwork, everything. Just they're there at the end of a phone or an email away.
I'm very confident that with the work that the volunteers and the members supporting us, that we're still going to be here in many more years.
Without sustainability and longevity, there is no point in starting off in the first place. You can have great ideas, but if there's no foreseeable either conclusion as a short-term project or as a sustainable project, it's just a white rhino. You're going to pay for something and then it's going to shut down and it's going to cost more money to finish off at the end of the day.
I think there are lessons to be learned. I think in terms of always working in communities has its challenges. I think always that maybe the difference doesn't happen overnight. And maybe in terms of where you started off working, the circumstances and the environment changes and you've got to respond to that. But I think as long as you're aware of that and have people that are passionate and enthusiastic about the area and keep working away, then you can really make a difference. And it's not about the little things that you feel to bog you down, but it's about the major change and the difference that you can make over 10 years. And I think a 10-year investment in an area is absolutely phenomenal. And I think that is the real difference that's been made.
Times have changed. There's no short-term pots of cash anymore. Hopefully people have been educated more, learnt more, and can find the need, source a fund for the need, and then solve the need, rather than having an idea and getting some money and blowing on it, whether it's needed or not.
I think the biggest impact really though is upon the groups themselves. The groups have through the programme delivered some fantastic stuff, and they know how to deliver that, and they can continue to deliver fantastic stuff. I think there is more of a culture of joined up working. You just look at the programme of young people's activities that happened last summer, and what a fantastic thing that was. It was envy of the rest of the city, and I think they've got the ability to do that in the future. So I think there is much more of an ethos of working together, and actually we can make a difference, and I think that is the real legacy of Fair Share.
We've all learned, and if we don't, we'll end up where we were 10 years ago, and then that's people's own fault.